Hey man, I do what I do.
Also angry that you have artists like Nelly, Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Soldier Boy, who are performing at Trump's inauguration. Okay. Now I have a little video footage. I've just been scouring the internet, so I'm gonna share this stuff with you guys. This is a brother from the internet, and he voices the opinion of a lot of folks. So y'all kick back and listen to this, and we're gonna analyze this. Somebody type mad again in the chat room. Somebody type mad again. Listen.
Don't be surprised that Snoop is performing at the inauguration. Don't do that. Why? Don't be surprised that Nelly is performing. First of all, I ain't never liked Nelly, so I ain't gonna waste no time talking about that dude. Ain't no love.
Man, so you never went, I'm going down, baby. Yo, you never, come on, brother. Don't. You what you talking about? You mean you never liked that? You ain't never going down, baby. Yo, street in the rain. You ain't got to make up stuff, brother. You know what I'm saying? Anyways.
But when it comes to Snoop, why are y'all surprised? This ain't the old Snoop. This ain't the Snoop that needed black people to help create his wealth and build his wealth from the doggy style days. No, this ain't him. This ain't the Snoop that needed black people to support him when he was on trial for unaliving somebody. It ain't that Snoop. It ain't the Snoop that needed black people to help him rebuild his wealth when he was broke after he had to leave Death Row Records and go to No Limit Records. It ain't that Snoop. This is the Snoop that...
All right, so let's first analyze that. The brother is saying that Snoop Dogg is somehow not the Snoop Dogg that needed black people. In other words, he's inferring that now that Snoop Dogg doesn't need black people anymore, that he's somehow sold out. Now, look, Snoop is from the era of gangster rappers. I personally have expressed my opinions about gangster rap. But the first thing, brother, the first thing you folk have to understand is that, these rappers were never supported by black people in the first place. White people supported that kind of black music. White people still are the major consumers of that music. So you never really were in the running to support them in the first place. Now, why would Snoop Dogg need our support when he has all that money? And then at the time, Johnny Cochran representing him, paying Johnny, because Johnny wasn't free, okay? I met Johnny Cochran at the Southern University Law Center some years back before he passed away. And Johnny was not free. He needed his money, and Snoop Dogg was able to pay him with that good white money that he earned on that gangster rap concert. So I'm just saying, nevertheless, yeah, you know, that I hear what you're saying. You're trying to imply that now that he's come up, he's left the black community. This is a black man who's married to a black woman, has black children. So I just want you to think about how quickly we turn on each other and how we always racialize things and make it up as us against them. They sold out. And by the time we finish with this conversation, I'm going to have you all questioning who the real sellouts are. But let's continue listening to the brother.
That is now getting millions of dollars from people who don't look like us. This is why
Snoop Dogg has been getting millions of dollars from people who don't look like us. Go to a Snoop Dogg concert, and it is waves and waves of white people, waves and waves of alabaster young people screaming all the lyrics, even saying all the profane language. We have never done that, okay? I'm just keeping it all the way a buck with you. Let's keep listening.
This Snoop could care less about people who look like us. This is why he's performing at the inauguration of a dude who wants to bring back stop and frisk, which affects...
He's going to bring back stop and frisk. Now, for you all who don't know, stop and frisk was a policy that was put in place in New York when New York was at an extremely high crime rate, okay? And I believe it was under Mayor Rudy Giuliani. What the police would do is if you look like a suspect, then they would treat you like a suspect. They would pull you over, perform a cursory search on you, make sure you did not have any weapons on you, and let you know that you do not run these streets. We are the biggest gang, i.e. the NYPD. We run these streets. Now, miraculously, Times Square, before Giuliani put that in, New York was the crap hole that it is right now. I'm just going to put it out there for you just like that. It was a dangerous place to be. You were not going to be. They had the peep shows in Times Square. Prostitution was rampant. Drugs were rampant. Gangs were rampant. And then the NYPD, under Rudy Giuliani and the chief of police, installed stop and frisk, shut all that down. Okay. Now, with the influx of all these migrants and all this crazy crime that's going on right now, I think it's some brothers right now, especially since brothers are the number one victims of crime against perpetuated black men. I think a little stop and frisk would be helpful right about now. I mean, I know it's unconstitutional, 4th and 14th Amendment. I get that. I get what you're saying, and maybe they can reinstitute it in another way. And I'm sorry there were young people who got hemmed up by the police that otherwise were innocent. But for the most part, it stopped a lot of crime. We don't like to hear this. This is tough. But let me also remind you that the United States is probably the only place in the world where you can be looking like you committing a crime, possibly have a gun, possibly have a weapon on you, and the police can't do anything about it until they actually see you commit a crime. In other countries, they will hem you up, put you on the ground, hit you in the back of the head with the butts of their rifles. You understand what I'm saying? So be happy that you have these privileges that you have in the United States, but in other places it's not real. But let's continue listening to the brother. I just want to put it in context. Somebody type context in the chat room.
People like us. He wants to give cops full immunity, which affects people.
Cops already have full immunity, brother. They already have immunity. Okay, it's not something he's giving them. That's part of case law that goes back decades. Okay, they already have immunity. It's called qualified immunity. Let's not put something on him that he didn't do. Keep it going.
Like us, and he is supported by every single hate group in the country.
He is supported by every brother. At some point, we just got to realize that we just putting extras on it. You ever been hanging out with somebody and they telling a story, and then it's like, look, you had me for a minute, but now you kind of, come on, man, really? You smashed the mom and the daughter and the grandma? Come on, man, I don't believe. You putting extras on it. Every hate group. How many hate groups do we have in the United States? Each and every one of them, have they all submitted a letter of support to Donald Trump and his re-election? Is that what you tell them? This is a little extra, brother. I'm just pointing it out there. Let's keep going. Praise God.
Again, affects people like us.
People like us. Okay, I thought it was going to affect those Venezuelan migrants. Is that who you talking to? Because those are the people that are really afraid. We've been through 4 years of Donald Trump. I mean, y'all act like the man wasn't the president the time before. This one that we have now is the president. We did pretty good other than the COVID-19 situation. Did y'all know that we remember that presidency from around 2016 to 20? We were right there. We saw it. I'm just saying, brother. I mean, let's just think about it. You putting extras on. Let's keep listening.
Neighborhoods where cops will stop and frisk you. He don't live in those neighborhoods no more. This is why he could care less.
Snoop doesn't care about what happened to black folk because he don't live in the neighborhoods anymore. I understand what I'm saying. Let's keep listening.
About the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
You caught on yet?
Us now. Snoop is no longer like us. That's basically what you're saying. Okay. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm trying to do a broadcast here, and it's at this time. Everybody wants to give me a call. Everybody wants to talk to me. I am doing the best I can. Hold on 1 minute. Let me see something here. Yeah. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Anyway, so let's finish listening to the brother.
Black folks? Or are you going to let him just make another record and you be like, oh, Snoop is cool now? Speaking of records, how surprised that Nelly is performing? First of all,
hold on, let's go back there. Now you talk
about.
You
go from FDT to now you perform.
All right, so he's now saying, well, you're a hypocrite because you
Letting
went
him
from
just make another record and you'd be like, oh, Snoop is cool now. Speaking of records, how'd you go from FDT to now you performing at the inauguration for DT?
So here's the thing, family. Before Donald Trump, and again, I'm telling you brothers to vote your interest, okay? I'm telling you brothers to vote your interest. But I do recall a time that before Donald Trump was running for the Republican nominee for presidency of the United States, all the black rappers would talk about him and how they was trumped up this and wanted to have money like Trump. So they were 100% with him at that point. And then when he began to run for president, then they were like, you are all these horrible names. And now they back to, well, he's okay again. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the country has shifted. The country has moved on from some of those notions that they had before. I think the identity politics game is pretty much over, fellas. I don't think we care as black people if you're black or white, as long as you do what you do for us, because we went through the Obama years, and that gentleman went about, 8 years without doing anything for black folk. And then when we refused to vote for Kamala Harris, somebody type loser in the chat room, when we refused to vote for Kamala Harris, he told us basically we were idiots and sexist. And so we really don't like Barack Obama now. So, I mean, brother, I think we're past that. But let's keep listening.
Make it make sense.
Make it make
sense. But I get it. When you don't need the people anymore, you could care less about the people.
I don't think Snoop has needed us for several decades now, brother. I think the white folks have been paying him well